It's just after 9 p.m. on the outskirts of a small town on Italy's Adriatic coast. An elite unit of Italian Carabinieri quietly surrounds a factory.
Carabinieri! Buonasera!
One can lose his life while coming to Europe. It's a big risk.
This man's face is hidden because he is a victim of a modern crime, the trafficking in human beings and forced labor. He left his family in Kashmir paying 5,000 euros to the agents who promised him work. He ended up in a factory in Italy making accordions 11 hours a day for 500 euros a month, under dangerous conditions and threat.
There was no safeguard, there was nothing, there was pollution, there was a lot of dust inside the factory, and I have to work without any safeguard like that.
Much modern forced labor is extremely subtle. It can involve recruitment agencies, individuals, taking advantage of loopholes in existing law in order to derive sometimes very large and unfair profits at the expense of vulnerable migrant workers.
Most of these people are not controlled with weapons or chains, etc. But the way they are forced to stay in that situation is much more based on psychological pressure, on threats.
Marco Buffo runs On the Road, an NGO on Italy's Adriatic coast. Since 1990, On the Road has helped victims of human trafficking with legal assistance, helping them find work and a new life in Italian society. Article 18 of Italy's Immigration Code makes organizations like On the Road more effective. Under Article 18, trafficking victims can be identified as the victims of a crime, protected, and even given a residence permit. But it's not enough.
It's essential to have a good network of different organizations which focus on the issue of exploitation and forced labor.
The Carabinieri are key partners in the network approach. In Rome, Captain Gianfranco Albanese is the head of a special unit dedicated to fighting the plague of human trafficking in Italy.
Il Comando Carabinieri per la tutela del lavoro è un organo di collaborazione diretta del Ministro del Lavoro, della Salute e delle Politiche Sociali. Per questo periodicamente il comandante del Comando Carabinieri tutela del lavoro si reca qui dal Ministro per riferire sulle attività in corso e per aggiornarlo sugli eventuali sviluppi.
Several times a month, and with the cooperation of the Ministry of Labor, the Special Carabinieri unit makes surprise inspections of businesses where victims of human trafficking and forced labor could be working. Today, the Carabinieri's first target is a restaurant in Rome. Despite a thorough check, nothing was found.
It is very difficult to identify victims. They are invisible. They are not. You don't meet them. You can't realize that these are victims.
The ILO is playing a key role in changing that. The Handbook for Labor Inspectors, entitled Forced Labor and Human Trafficking, helps inspectors identify exploitation, better understand trafficking and forced labor crimes. Furthermore, ILO protocols identifying the criminal aspects of forced labor will help make prosecuting traffickers easier when they are adopted at the national level.
Avanti 13.
Siamo giunti sul posto, confermiamo il ritrovamento di quel deposito.
On a Thursday evening, the Carabinieri Command Center in Teramo gets a call from a unit in the field. A report of suspicious activity at a darkened factory at the edge of a nearby town. The Carabinieri set up a perimeter around the darkened factory. No one will be allowed to get away. Then the signal to go in.
Buonasera.
The Chinese workers in this factory are sewing designer blue jeans for the Italian fashion market. They start late in the afternoon and work until early hours of the morning in hot, filthy, noisy conditions.
E come segnalato dal cittadino che ha fatto la telefonata alla centrale operativa, abbiamo trovato una situazione lavorativa molto pesante. Come vedete c'è un laboratorio dove lo spazio è veramente angusto e ci sono una serie di lavoratori cinesi, alcuni dei quali li abbiamo già trovati irregolarmente presenti sul territorio.
This isn't just a factory, it's also a home.
C'è solo lei qui, signora? Sola? Only?
These small children and babies were found with their nanny in a hidden upstairs bedroom. The workers' families live, eat, and work here. Down on the factory floor, working with Chinese interpreters, the Caribinieri take their time, methodically checking through every person's documents. Everyone must have a passport and a valid work permit. Very few of these Chinese workers speak or understand Italian. They can only stand by helplessly and watch. Along with the Carabinieri, local health inspectors are also present. It's part of the network approach. If the factory has significant health and safety violations, it can be closed immediately. Tonight, 3 workers don't have the proper documents. The Carabinieri take them into custody to be questioned at the Teramo headquarters. Under Article 18, if they are found to be victims of forced labor, they could stay and get the help and support they need to make a new life for themselves in Italy.
Our new 2009 Global Report on Forced Labor draws the necessary attention to the opportunity cost of coercion for those migrant and other workers in forced labor situations. It also stresses the urgent need to bring together labor inspectors, employers and workers' organizations together with criminal law enforcement in order to have the necessary integrated action to prevent and eradicate modern forced labor.
The owner of the factory is currently under investigation for the violation of a law for the protection of victims and the special stay permit, which could result in up to 3 years of prison and 5,000 euros per irregular worker. The factory was shut down as a result of the inspection and will be reopened after the restoration of safety and health conditions.